right, maker. So MKR. Looked at this a little while ago. Was hoping it would pull back up to 1100 to short, but I don't think it's going to happen. It looks like it's just breaking lower. There was actually a zone here, and price is going right to the bottom of it. It's testing this $1,000 mark as we speak. So, and I think it will break that. I think with the US dollar gaining strength, it's going to push all these cryptos down even more with very little pullbacks. So delete these for now. And yeah, we got to figure out where this is kind of headed. So I think it's the main zone. After it breaks 1,000 here, I think 900 is the next move, obviously, right to this middle of the zone here. And I would be looking to just keep shorting this. I would not be looking for any buy positions. This is the 4-hour time frame. You can see prices way below the moving average. You have straight bear structure all the way down, lower lows, lower highs, and it has continued to make, continued to do that. So right now we're just waiting for it to break this $1,000 mark and this zone here, close below this zone, and then I would be looking for short positions as price pulls up, even if it's only a mini pull up, because I don't think we can expect much from these. As you get down to the 1 hour, it gets a little bit more choppy, but yeah, my first real thought about this is just let it break this $1,000 mark, because it's pretty significant. You can see if you drag this area, you can see all the wicks through this, so it's a pretty significant area. As of right now, this daily candle is closing below it, but there's still almost 9 hours left, so it's got a lot of time for this to close, and you just want to see it close below this 1,000. And then I'm actually going to mark out 900 down here, because I think that would be the next one to shoot for, so we'll put that in here. 900, this mid zone here. Delete that for now, and then just looking, for this short position all the way down to 900 once it breaks this 1,000. And then I think as far as like getting in on an entry, I mean, you could potentially sell it now, but I wouldn't. I would wait for a better entry, just in the sense of support and resistance here and structure itself. So you get a nice 4-hour little zone here that price respected, so I would actually delete this big zone here. Now you get the smaller zone to work with. Price is really it's much more precise now. You can see that this was the area, like it before these big wicks touched it, and then finally this candle broke it, and then it gave you a bit of a retest, and you can see that it was actually only this area. It this used to be the area of support, and now it's actually just down here, so of liquidity, I guess you could call it. So now this is our main one. So you're looking at something like this. If price breaks, you could even put this a little bit higher, just because this is there could be a lot of liquidity, and it could push through that zone a little bit and stop you out. But I really want this to break 1,000. So a couple things. I want it to break 1,000 and at least hold below. I think if we get, because we haven't had a candle, even a 4-hour candle, even if this 4-hour candle in 40 minutes right now closes below this $1,000 mark, I think we're good to go to short it. But I would let it just come back up. If it comes back up, just to this area here before you enter the short position, and then something like this, you're just kind of waiting for enter this position at around 1,008, where there's some wicks here and there's some liquidity in this area, right? You can see wick, this wick came in, so that's what we want to see again. After this closes below 1,000, let it come back up, retest this area, and then shoot for this $900 mark, which I don't think it'll do it this month, but maybe into next month we could see that happening. Obviously it becomes this is the daily chart, and you start running into some issues at about 925 here. You can see this candle here. I'll actually mark this in here, because again, price loves whole numbers, so we have to keep these in mind. It'd be nice just to short this all the way down, but I mean, this 925 area might give us an issue. But the cool thing is that there's not really anything between 1,000 here and 925, so this is definitely a straight shot right down here. So get a pretty decent risk to reward, maybe 4 to like 5, depends on where you tighten your stop to. So you could actually tighten your stop right above this zone if you wanted. You get a higher chance of being stopped out, but I mean, depends on if your wicks come into the zone, you get a couple wicks that only go this high, then I mean you're probably pretty good. So that is my take on MKR. I think it's a good short relatively soon. You got this nice bearish candle that will most likely close below this zone at least today, and if not below this $1,000 mark. And then really showing us that the bears are in play with this. And this once was, I mean, it technically is still bullish because it's above this moving average, but with this current structure, lower lows, lower highs, I think it's safe to short for a while. And maybe it'll come down to, maybe what'll happen is price will come down to about this area, meet this moving average, and then maybe that's where it'll find its support, maybe around like 875 or 850, and maybe then it'll start heading back up after that. But until then, I think it's going to keep heading lower, and especially with the dollar, the US dollar going the way it is and gaining strength and pushing upwards, it's going to push this down continuously. So that is my take on MKR.